Okay, you guys ready? Okay, so I want you to think about when we read this portion of our read aloud, I want you to think about why do writers use descriptive words, figurative language, in a book like this, authentic language, like we heard in the first part of our read aloud, okay? Anyone have a guess of why why writers do this? What does it help the reader to do? Jalen?
It kind of helps like the reader understand maybe what's going on in the book.
Yeah, absolutely. You were going to say that? Understand what's going on?
It can help them with their like fluency, like when they're reading. The reader.
Like to practice those kind of words and those phrases, okay, with their fluency?
Like helping like the reader if like they don't understand, like if they put a word that they know but the reader doesn't, they could they change that word that they don't know to a phrase.
To a phrase? Okay, so maybe change some of those words to help you understand them. Yesterday, with that authentic language that we heard from this story, from them being from El Salvador, what does that help some of you do? Do you connect to the story? Yeah. And when we hear descriptive language or figurative language like that, does it help us kind of imagine what's happening if we've got a lot of description? Okay, so I'm going to read 2 pages, and then I'm going to stop to ask you what examples of descriptive language you heard, what examples of figurative language you heard, and what examples of authentic language you heard. Okay, are we ready? Okay. Papa sits down next to me on the bench. He strokes my hair and gives me a soda. I look at my shoes. I feel something with my finger on the sole of one shoe. A nail, a long, sharp, pointed nail. I take it out. I blow through the little hole made by the nail. Sana, sana, colita de rana, I say to them. I smile at my shoes. Papa shares his carne asada with me. Keep those examples in mind. Uno, dos, tres. My shoes and I are ready to keep going. A bus, a hard seat to sleep on. Papa wraps his jacket around me. His shoulder is my pillow. No rooster to wake me up. Another border, 2 more buses, and 2 more days. We are in Mexico City. Papa loses his wallet in the bus terminal. We have to wait for money from Mama. An old dark trailer becomes our home for days. An old mattress becomes my bed, and a piece of ragged fabric becomes my blanket. I hear thunder. There are holes in the top of the trailer. Drops fall on my head. It's a lightning storm. Crash, boom, bam. The trailer is flooded. My shoes become swimming shoes. We swim freely out of the trailer like big sharks in the ocean. And into a shed of a nearby home. Papa covers me with his arms. Okay, so we're going to stop there for a second and think about, on those 2 pages, what examples of describing words did you hear? What examples of figurative language maybe you heard? Or what examples of authentic language did you hear?
I heard like, which is a simile.
A simile. So do you remember the example? Or like close to it? Was it about the shark? Yeah. So excellent. So that would be a simile, right? So we swim freely out of the trailer like big sharks in the ocean. So they're comparing how they're swimming out of the trailer to sharks in the ocean.
I heard what they said. I forgot.
We'll come back to you.
I heard onomatopoeia.
Onomatopoeia. What examples did you hear?
Like the lightning storm. Like, oh yeah, there's one
Crash, crash, boom, bam. Yeah, absolutely. Onomatopoeia.
The first part that we didn't know, like the phrase that they said.
Oh,
The shoes.
yeah. So about the sana, sana, colita de rana. So that would be an example of like authentic language, right? If the family traveling in this book is from El Salvador, it would be authentic to hear some of their language, right? Any other examples of authentic language that you might hear if you were a Spanish speaker?
There's other phrases like I don't remember the other one, but my mom always tells me when something happens to me.
Oh, that says that phrase to you. What about the way that he calls his dad?
Oh, papa.
Papa, right? Or mama, right? Which is very similar, but it's still pretty authentic if you were living in El Salvador or in Mexico City, right? Anything else before we go on? What about when they were describing the nail? And what would that be considered? Would that be descriptive words, figurative language, or authentic language? Descriptive words, yeah, helping us kind of know that it's, not just any nail, it's long, it's sharp, it's pointed. All right, we ready to read the next 2 pages?
Yep.
All right, so same thing, keep in mind listening for any of those examples, okay? Okay. In the morning, the sky is clear. I shiver. My shoes feel heavy. Something is swishing from side to side in my shoes. I take them off. I shake them. Water, a stream, a fountain, a cascade of running water drops to the ground. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The water is gone, but my shoes are still very wet. Sana, sana, colita de rana, I say to them. I smile at my shoes. Papa and I drink hot chocolate. We'll read one more and then hear what you think. Ooh. Uno, dos, tres. My shoes and I are ready to keep going. A bus, a day, another bus, another day. Too many buses, too many days. We are near La Frontera. We are close to the United States border. Papa says, I am very happy. I cannot wait to see Mama, I say, and jump everywhere. Oh no, mud. Brown, deep, sticky mud, all the way to my knees. I can't see my shoes. I try to lift my feet, but I am stuck. My shoes become submarines. Not even the deepest marsh can stop us. Okay, on those last 2 pages, what examples did we hear?
Onomatopoeia, when the water was falling out of the shoe, it went
It did, when the water was kind of dripping through it, whoosh, and I think it was also like that swoosh, swoosh, right, or that swishing sound. Yes, excellent, that's onomatopoeia. The mud, yeah, so what the mud was brown, deep, and sticky mud, right? So definitely descriptive words. A simile, what did you hear for the simile?
Compare the shoes to submarines.
I agree, it's figurative language. Let me read it to you again, okay? So it says, my shoes became submarines. So you're right, it's a comparison, and it is figurative language, but there's no like or as, which makes it a metaphor. Excellent. Good job. What about authentic language? Did we hear, some of you were telling me about this yesterday when we were trying to decide what countries they might go through. Yeah. How many of you have heard that before? Yeah, several of you, right? Which I didn't know when you said that. I wasn't sure what you were talking about with the La Frontera until we read it, and then I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Any other examples that you heard? I mean, I think you pretty much got them all.
We figured out what states they were going to and where their mom.
We did, yeah. So mom is where? United States, and they were coming from El Salvador. So they had to go up through Mexico, and then they're crossing over to the United States, right? So they had to cross the El Salvador border and the Mexico border, and I think check my geography on that one. I think there might be a country in between the border. Well, La Frontera is the United States border. What about, how do we count in English? I would say 1, 2, 3. What did we hear? Uno, dos, tres. So what would that be an example of? What's on? So is that, try one more. Is that more of a authentic to the language that our characters speak? Yeah, yeah. So that would be an example of authentic language. I think you got most of them, so that's good.
Yeah, it said the thing that they said in the first part of the story about the shoes.
The phrase that they said, the sana, sana, colita de rana. And who can remind me what that means? Shayla, what does that mean?
That means like if somebody gets hurt, that it means like if it doesn't get better by today, it gets better by tomorrow.
Okay, so like kind of like a not to worry kind of phrase, it'll be all right type of thing. Oh, that's sweet. I like that. I like that it rhymes too. It's cute.